A very warm, a very warm welcome to the entire teaching fraternity, our esteemed speaker, Professor Dr. Ajay Kumar Singh, and all the enthusiastic participants joining us today. It is a pleasure to have you with us on day 8 of the refresher course on holistic empowerment for stress management, a multidisciplinary approach. We are truly grateful for your presence and participation in this enriching academic journey. A rare blend of wisdom and humility, Professor Ajay Kumar Singh embodies the grace of a teacher, the vision of a leader, and the calm strength of a spiritual guide. With great pleasure and deep respect, we welcome Dr. Ajay Kumar Singh, sir, Professor, a distinguished academician, visionary leader, and spiritually grounded mentor, as the esteemed speaker for today's session on personality development and stress management. Before proceeding further, I would like to invite our respected principal, sir, Professor Gyantosh Kumar Jha, sir, to welcome, sir. Sir, meeting minutes, sir.
Honorable Professor Ajay Kumar Singh ji and Program Coordinator Professor Vinita Tuli, Professor Anjali Gupta and Dr. Baljit Kaur, other participants. It's my pleasure and honor welcoming Professor Ajay Kumar Singh in this refresher course on stress management. And I'm very glad and feel honored that sir has given his valuable time for this refresher course. And I hope that because in COVID time pandemic, we have done so many sessions with sir on stress management and mental stress. So I hope that this session will be very fruitful and very useful for all of us. So thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for giving your time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Professor Singh is a senior professor at the Department of Commerce, Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi, and has recently served as head and dean. He is currently chairperson of the Delhi University Sports Council and Adhyaksh Delhi Prant Bharatiya Shiksha Mandal. He also served as vice chancellor of Shri Shri University, Odisha from 2019 to 2022. He is the immediate past president and fellow trustee of the Indian Commerce Association. An SRCC alumnus and editor-in-chief of Delhi Business Review, Dr. Singh is a prolific scholar with 250 plus publications, 38 plus years of teaching experience, and mentorship to 43 PhD and 17 MPhil scholars. He has received numerous national and international awards, including the B-Bay Gold Medal by ICA. His work exemplifies a deep commitment to the academic excellence, calm leadership, and spiritual values. We appreciate his immense contributions to the Department of Commerce and the University of Delhi and are honored to hear from him today. We extend heartfelt thanks to Professor Gyantosh Kumar Jha, sir, Principal ARSD College, Principal Ramanujan College, Professor Vinita Thuli ma'am, Convener IQAC and the Coordinator of Refresher Program, Professor Anjali Gupta ma'am, Co-Convener of this program, and the dedicated TLC team for organizing this enriching academic event. Please join us in welcoming Professor Ajay Kumar Singh, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Baljit Kaurji, for the elaborate introduction. Thanks to the Honorable Principal of ARSD College, Professor Gyantosh Kumar Jhaji, the patron of this program, the Honorable Principal of Ramanujan College, Professor Asal Singh Ji, the program coordinator, Professor Vinita Tuli, and all the other members of the organizing team, including Dr. Baljit Kaurji, Dear participants, it is the number 99 now, which is a good number to start with. If you have questions in between, you are free to ask questions in between. If I'm not able to see the questions, then Dr. Baljeet can let me know, because if I open the PPT and start sharing that, then I may not see the um, things which are in the chat box. If I see, I will do that.
So PPT is visible now, sir.
So you can see the
Yes.
PPT now.
Varun, please आप chat box enable कर दीजिए.
So it's good that you have taken the topic of holistic empowerment for stress management, a multidisciplinary approach. Because if the teachers don't have the ability to deal with stress, then how can they make the life of children or students in the institutions free from stress? So it is very important that we empower the teaching fraternity with the techniques of stress management, and they become then torchbearer of creating a generation which is stress-free generation. There are a lot of things in this. We will see how much we can do. And if you really want to practice something like meditation and all that as a tool of managing stress, then we can do that also. So we'll go by this agenda which is mentioned here. I'm not reading all of them, it is in front of you because it will come one by one. And the andragogy, since all of you are adults, it is about Shravan, which is like deep listening. Manan is like contemplating. And you may have a lot of questions and you may seek answers for all those things. That's a long process. There are other steps also. But if finally we arrive at a conclusion that you should commit to practice on a daily basis, that is nididhyasan, then it is worth practicing on a daily basis, like meditation and other techniques of managing stress. So this is known as the UNESCO report of 1996, wherein there are 4 pillars of learning. One is learning to know, which is like foundational skills or instrumental basic learning skills, presupposes learning to learn, foundation for lifelong learning, and preparation for the learning society. What as teachers we generally do, we generally believe that students should be taught what we go with the lecture prepared with them, and we think our job is done. But that is only one dimension amongst the 4 dimensions, that is learning to know. If they can't apply the knowledge that you have given to them, learning to do is missing. Learning for work and life competencies to deal with unforeseeable situations, alternating study and work, these are all aspects of learning to do. And if you don't know how to live together, understanding others, respect for human dignity and diversity, learning for responsible and active citizenship, then what is happening between Russia and Ukraine, what is happening with Israel and Hamas, Iran, all these are because they have not been taught well how to learn to live together. And what India has taken a stand, that is like independent judgment, sense of personal responsibility, tapping the buried treasure of hidden talents. Even when this Pahalgam happened, we only responded to that with a sense of responsibility and independent judgment, that we will only strike those places where the extremists are there. So very calculated move without going inside too much for waging a war or anything of that sort. Only punishment to be granted for those who committed those mistakes. So that is learning to be. Even when Russia and Ukraine the motion came to the United Nations body, India said that we stand for peace. We are neither for Russia or against Russia. We are standing for peace, and we believe that while sitting together only these can be resolved. So that is about independent judgment and sense of personal responsibility. That is why probably India or Bharat is being seen now as a country which is leading the world. And this leadership was more evident in terms of independent judgment and sense of personal responsibility during COVID-19 times, when India actually practiced Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and ensured that every life on the planet is as precious as the life of our own citizens, and distributed free vaccines, which was made in India. Imagine if we would not have been able to develop vaccines in India, what would have been our fate? So this is something which is the most important thing. Last two, what I said, learning to live together and learning to be. But our focus in our education system is largely on learning to do, and now the government is forcing us to have focus on learning to do also. There are two sides of the brain coming to straight away on the thing which is connected to the topic. So one is dealing with the logic, facts, mathematics, linear thinking, sequencing, thinking in words. That is about concrete mental intelligence, which is the left brain. And there is a right brain, which is dealing with abstract mental intelligence, which is like feelings, visualization, imagination, intuition, rhythm, holistic thinking, work of arts, painting, etc. All these are part of the right part of the brain, and it is dealing with the abstract mental intelligence. So right brain is more holistic. It is creative, emotional, intuitive, and subjective, whereas left is linear, logical, sequential, analytical, and objective. There is one good case study. I don't know whether you have seen this earlier or not. If you have seen, let me know. I will stop it. Otherwise, let us see if it works for you for some time. It's a school which has been made in India, where there is, ambidextrous.
कोई बच्चा जब स्कूल में मेरे विद्यालय में आता है तो उसको बैठाता हूँ, 2 दिन 4 दिन रोता है, धीरे धीरे उसको जब सेट करने लगते हैं, हाथ में कलम पकड़ाता हूँ, अपने आप देख लेता हूँ जिस हाथ से अधिक पकड़ने लगता है। फिर देखने के बाद धीरे धीरे जब वो एक हाथ से पकड़ने लगता है तो कुछ दिन बाद, 1 हफ्ते बाद, 10 दिन बाद, 15 दिन में, फोर्टनाइट में उसको क्या करता हूँ कि दूसरे हाथ से पकड़वाता हूँ। जब दोनों हाथ से लिखने का काम शुरू होने लगा तो 2 विषय भी हमने देखा कि क्या एक साथ लिखा जा सकता है, और आज हमारे बच्चे 2 विषय लिख लेते हैं।
There is another case study, which is, this was for left part of the brain and the right part of the brain, how much we can use. This was just an illustration of that dimension. There is another part of the brain, or what you can call it as frontal lobe, or intuition process, it is called in Art of Living. You can watch this video, then I'll ask you some questions based on these two.
What you are about to see is incredible. Believe it or not, these kids have developed a unique ability to see with their eyes closed. Yes, you heard it right. These kids can read through touch, smell colors, and see pictures, all with their eyes wide shut.
It's a planet. Yes, it is.
The Art of Living intuition process is a specially designed program for children between 8 to 18 years of age. This powerful 2-day workshop kindles the latent, deep and enigmatic faculties inherent in children.
Here we have put a lot of cards.
Yes.
Okay? Now you have to pick yellow color cards in this and put it on your right. If it is any other color, you can drop it in the same bunch.
Take whatever comes. What do you take? 0. You got 2. Okay. So you have to go back up a big ladder. Okay, send me up the ladder. You've come to 84. You got 2. I got 2.
You are holding on to a clock that shows 9:06.
There's some flowers.
Yes. Incredulous it may seem, but it is true.
Grass.
Apart from improving intuitive abilities, this unique process for kids and teenagers helps tap into subtler faculties of the mind, enhance sensory abilities, improve awareness and foresight, increase confidence, remove the fear of the unknown, and enhance their creativity and intelligence.
Any questions up till now on the basis of what you have seen? So we have talked only about 2 dimensions of the brain, left and right, and then the intuition process, which is the frontal lobe. If there is any question up till now, this is available for all the children. Ambidextrous school deals with whosoever comes to them, and everybody is able to write with both their hands. And intuition process is available to the children who are up to the age of 18 years of age. So these are the faculties of the brain which, if we are able to develop, then we can, be of a different type. We could be person of a different type. There are children who can see the past. There are children who can see the present. And there are children who can see the future as well based on intuition process. So how much we are able to develop our faculties that we have and stop worrying about things. These are just 2 examples of that. We will go a little more in the journey. If you don't have any questions. Dr. Neha is saying this is a great effort by the school. And so we have 1 observation. Thanks for that observation. Okay, let me share it again. Now, if we have chakras, focus on chakras, are you able to see the full screen?
Sir, you have to share your PPT again, sir.
PPT full screen में आ रही थी आपके पास?
No, sir, not right now, sir. You have to share it again, sir.
Okay.
It's visible now, sir.
So, like, these are some of the examples of chakras, which are like centers of energy. In our system, they are known as chakras. The navel chakra is responsible for intelligence, which is instinctive intelligence. Solar plexus or heart chakra, or center of the chest, is responsible for emotional intelligence. Why you get angry, upset, it is largely a function of your heart chakra or anahat chakra. Navel chakra is Manipur chakra. Fourth chakra is Vishuddhi chakra, which is responsible for left part of the brain, and mid-nose in between the eyebrows is for right part of the brain, that is abstract mental intelligence. If you focus on these chakras, do this practice on a daily basis, you activate those things like concrete mental intelligence or abstract mental intelligence or emotional intelligence or instinctive intelligence. We will do some meditation focusing on these chakras if you get time or if you want that to happen. Top of the head is Sahasrara, which is spiritual, psychic, or intuitive, and wisdom. So, holistic empowerment involves equipping individuals with the self awareness tools and resilience to navigate stress through a comprehensive framework that blends insights from psychology, neuroscience, medicine, yoga, mindfulness, nutrition, and the arts. This multidisciplinary approach not only fosters well being and inner balance, but also cultivates a sustainable lifestyle that nurtures mental clarity, emotional intelligence, and overall human potential. And this is picture of the human body wherein chakras have been explained. Root chakra is at the base of the spine. Sacral chakra is Swadhisthana chakra. So the activity is connected with the root chakra, or inertia is connected with the root chakra. Crown chakra is Sahasrara. Third eye is like Ajna chakra or Agya chakra. Throat chakra is Vishuddhi chakra. And human personality can be divided into three parts as per Hindu philosophy, that is Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. These are the three fundamental qualities or gunas that influence human nature and behavior. So tamas is more like, in a state of illusion, ignorance, mental dullness, laziness, and greed, confusion, attachment, and heaviness are the outcomes of this. Whereas Rajas is dealing with energy, excitement, workaholic behavior, ambitious, and we can have the experience of desire, fear, egotism, self-centeredness. And on the top, you can see in this triangle is Sattva. So the journey is basically from Tamas to Rajas to Sattva. So here it is happiness, wisdom, compassionate, self-control, concentrated, gratitude. So if we want to become master in handling stress, then we need to have the journey from Tamas to Rajas to Sattva. And if we want to go beyond that, that means gunatit ho jana, gunon se upar uth jana. That is higher level than Sattva level also. So Sattvic is goodness, harmony, purity. It is characterized by calmness, clarity, knowledge, and a balanced mind. Sattvic individuals are often seen as wise, compassionate, and content. And the examples are people who are peaceful, honest, and strive for self-improvement. They are often associated with qualities like generosity, self-control, and a desire for knowledge. And the food or sattvic foods are considered pure, fresh, easily digestible, like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Whereas rasic is about passion, activity, desire. It is driven by ambition, desire, and the need for constant activity. Rajasic individuals are often energetic, goal-oriented, and prone to stress. Those who are ambitious, competitive, and focused on material achievements, they might be passionate but also prone to restlessness and anxiety. Rajasic foods are often stimulating and include spices, tea, coffee, and non-vegetarian options. So you can see where you are currently in terms of your own personality, in terms of these three gunas. Tamasic is about inertia, ignorance, darkness, characterized by dullness, lethargy, and a lack of motivation. Tamasic individuals may struggle with inertia and a discontent from reality. Individuals who are lazy, unmotivated, and may engage in destructive behaviors. They might be prone to addictions and have difficulty making decisions. Food are like tamasic food are considered heavy, stale, and difficult to digest, like processed foods, alcohol, and meat. So you can check what kind of food is being taken that leads to what level of stress you're likely to have based on the food as a cause of leading those stress. This is a Curlian photography picture, which is on the right hand side. The fascinating technique that produces colorful ethereal images of objects surrounded by what appears to be a glowing aura. This technique captures the coronal discharge of energy field around objects placed on a photographic plate connected to a high voltage, low current electrical source. When a person's fingertip or palm is placed on the plate, the resulting image shows a glowing field or aura, which is interpreted by some as reflection of the person's energy state or psycho-emotional condition. Holistic and metaphysical practitioners link specific patterns or colors in the Curlian image to emotional balance or imbalance, stress levels or anxiety, dominant temperament types, and spiritual sensitivity or groundedness. This interpretation aligns with traditional Indian and Eastern systems like chakra and the pranic energy, which view the body as surrounded and influenced by subtle energy systems. So, Muladhara chakra, as I was telling you, it's about physical, intense, hardworking, grounded, practical qualities of the chakra are these. And it is connected with the earth element, the base of the spine chakra, Muladhara chakra. And the color is red. And the crystal or minerals are agate, garnet, ruby, hematite, pyrite. And essential oils are patchouli, oak moss, vetiver. So these are, this table shows you that different chakras have different colors, like water element is connected with Swadhisthana chakra, and the color is orange. Whereas Manipur chakra, the color is yellow and it is connected with the fire element. So water, earth, water, fire, air, space, these are the five elements which, as you go up in the chakra system from bottom Muladhara chakra to upward towards Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anahat and Vishuddhi, you're moving from gross to subtle. So it's also a journey from earth is like most grossest of the things which you can see, touch, feel. Water is lesser gross than earth, fire is lesser grosser than earth or water, and air is less grosser than fire, and space is even lesser, as compared to earth, water, fire, air. So the properties, you can say, or qualities of the chakra that makes you artistic, physical, creative, expression, excitement, all these comes from Swadhisthana chakra. And these are the concerned crystals or essential oils which are connected with this. And if Manipur chakra is active, then creative, easygoing, philosophical, optimistic, all these things happen with this Manipur chakra or the navel chakra. It is in the navel region. Then Anahat is, as I was mentioning, air element is connected with that, and the color is green. As you go up, color changes to blue for Vishuddhi, and indigo color is there for Agya chakra, and violet profile is there for Sahasrara. And element, as I mentioned, it moves from one to the other. If you have any questions up till now on this chakra system, I'm stopping here for a while. You can ask. Any questions up till now on the chakra system or on the elements? Or should I continue? Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
I am continuing.
Sure, sir.
The personalities can further be defined as per Ayurveda into Vat, Pitta, and Kapha. And these are connected with the earth, water, fire, air, space, or ether. If you see a combination of ether, which is space, and air, it is Vata personality. They walk faster and talk more and things like that. Pitta is fire and water combined together, and Kapha is earth and water combined together. So each element has a different flavor, and that is how personality gets built up. And you are also affected by that. So Kapha personality is like calm, stable, grounded, strong, endurance, caring. Pitta is intelligent, sharp, organized, warm, friendly, leader kind of person. Vata is creative, energetic, adaptable, spontaneous, good communicator. And then there could be mixture of Vat Kapha and Vat Pitta like that. So is that clear? So as per Ayurveda, as I was telling you, the Prakriti refers to an individual's unique constitution determined at birth that shapes their physical and mental characteristics throughout life. So your body type, if you go to an Ayurvedic doctor, he will put his 2 fingers or 3 fingers on your nubs बोलते हैं जिसको नाड़ी पे उंगली रखेंगे और बता देंगे कि आपकी पर्सनैलिटी टाइप कैसी है जो है और उसी बेसिस पे आपका फिर बिहेवियर भी होता है इफ यू हैव कफा पर्सनैलिटी और काम स्टेबल by virtue of your personality type. So how to become calm and stable? There are other ways also. One is through this assessment of the personality types. A Vata personality bubbles with enthusiasm but lacks confidence. They are highly creative but lack the consistency needed to translate ideas into action. They have an excellent grasp but may not have good memory and retention. They excel in the field of fine arts but are poor performers in sports. A Vata person is highly talkative but lacks articulation. The confidence level of Vata Prakriti is fragile. Anxiety levels of a Vata personality are normally high. Their endurance levels and tolerance to stress is poor. Vata temperament is more often driven by impulsiveness, thus, they are very generous. Also, they manage bodily energies in a poor fashion. Due to lack of mental and physical consistency and endurance, their performance levels in every sphere of life tend to fluctuate often. Whereas a Pitta person is very articulate but is generally reserved about sharing. This personality is dominated by a high level of conviction, and equally dominant feature is overconfidence. Pitta personality always has a focus, self-centered mind. Cunning is a part of its target orientation. Its decisions are quick, bold, and success-oriented. They excel in every activity they choose. For that purpose, they employ all resources indiscriminately. Pitta constitutions do not allow you to be generous. They are proud of their achievements. At the same time, they are thankless the contributions by others. A steady and reliable mind is an asset with Kapha Prakriti, but it lacks self-initiation. Their decision is measured and always correct. At the same time, they are slow. They are bestowed with an excellent memory, but grasping may be poor. Kapha Prakriti has an excellent endurance and exemplary stress tolerance. It has a deep-rooted determination but lacks an initiative to start. Its temperament is highly conservative. Kapha Prakriti tends towards perfectionism. They are highly quality conscious. Kapha Prakriti is caring and deeply involved in emotional relations. However, they fail to convey emotional feelings due to a reserved attitude. Temperament is highly reliable and faithful. Coming to the spiritual intelligence is an ability to access higher meanings, values, abiding purposes, and unconscious aspects of the self and to embed these meanings, values, and purpose in living richer and more creative lives. So it starts from the purpose. Higher purpose is very, very important in this. And then we have self-discipline, morality, courage, love, giving, excellence, detachments. So this is all constitute, Sahasrara Chakra is largely responsible for spiritual intelligence. Buddha is considered to be a person who was spiritually intelligent, as you all know. Wisdom, intuition, leader of all leaders, long-lasting, legendary leadership. There is a question to you. Are we human beings wanting to have a spiritual experience? If yes, then write yes, human being. You write human being. And if you have no answer of this as no, write no. I'm stopping here for a while. Just keep on writing in the chat box.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
wrong.
Huh?
Has mentioned. Dr. Baljeet has mentioned.
Sir, we have
Yes,
certain questions also.
And
We have a few questions also in the chat box, sir.
ah, that we have some questions now.
So can we take the questions right now, sir?
जैसे टीवी
Yeah.
का जैसे प्राइम टाइम होता था, वैसे ही स्पिरिचुअलिटी का या स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिसेस का या ध्यान का या योग का प्राइम टाइम जो है वो ब्रह्म मुहूर्त से ही शुरू होता है। तो ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में ही अगर आप ये सारी प्रैक्टिसेस करते हैं तो वो सबसे उत्तम समय होता है उसके लिए। जब हम ऐसी चीज़ों को अपने सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट समय के लिए रखते हैं तो उसका फल भी हमें मिलता है। यू आर एबल टू कनेक्ट टू द, जैसे हाईवे पे आप जाते हैं ना तो भीड़ होती है, दिन में जाते हैं, ऑफिस आवर्स में जाते हैं तो भीड़ होती है। तो सुबह सुबह अगर आप जाएं अर्ली मॉर्निंग 3-4 बजे निकले तो हाईवे भी खाली होते हैं। स्पिरिचुअल हाईवे जो होता है वो भी खाली रहता है सुबह ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में जो है ना। तो जो भी कनेक्ट करना चाहे स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड वो अच्छे से कनेक्ट कर सकता है। तो सुबह का ब्रह्म मुहूर्त का जो समय है वो योगिक एक्सरसाइजेस के लिए, मेडिटेशन के लिए, ध्यान धारणा समाधि वगैरह के लिए सबसे उत्तम माना गया है। और कैसीनो सेरेमनी को कहते हैं और उसमें जो भी ऊंचाइयां हम पहुंच सकते हैं उसके लिए वो है, कोई उसकी लिमिट नहीं है कि इतना ही हो सकता है। अनलिमिटेड पोटेंशियल है, जितना जितना हम करते जाएंगे उतना उतना मिलता जाएंगे। डॉक्टर अन्नपूर्णा पुस्ती ने पूछा है, how can those who balance with lifestyle changes, yes sure it can be balanced with lifestyle changes। और इसीलिए इन सबको जानने का फायदा है। अगर आप खुद से इम्प्रूव नहीं कर सकते तो जानने का क्या फायदा है? Dr. Atma is again asked that all living creatures have their spiritual selves in different form. Not every creature has the same ability what human beings have. So this पंचकोश जो है वो सब में इतना डेवलप्ड नहीं है, और बाकी की जो है जैसे मिनरल किंगडम है, प्लांट किंगडम है। मिनरल किंगडम हैज the pranic body. That is why you wear some stones in the hands so that it can connect to the planet which is connected with that particular color of stone. Because planets also have different type of colors and they are connected with those colors. There are different stones for different planets. That is why we use them, because mineral kingdom has pranic body. Plant kingdom has pranic body as well as emotional body as well. There is no emotional body with the mineral kingdom, whereas plant kingdom has. So if you water the plant with love and care, it will grow faster. And the other plant with the same amount of water, if you put in with hatred, it may die or will not grow at the same pace. They are scientifically proven things, and there is no dispute on that now. Human beings, animals, although we are known as animals only, but human beings are considered to be more advanced than other animals or other beings because of probably this what we call buddhi, annamaya kosh, pranamaya kosh, manomaya kosh, vijnanamaya kosh, anandamaya kosh. That is, intellect is something which differentiates human beings, which is buddhi, and that is what makes us more superior as compared to other living creatures in this planet. Uh, Although there is life, what we even call it as non-living, like water is generally considered to be non-living thing. We will see some pictures after this. There is imbalance in Manipur chakra lead to digestion problems. Yes, because fire element is there for Manipur chakra, and digestion requires fire element to be in the proper form. So you should focus on Manipur chakra, or you can do an asana like you flap the stomach and you breathe out fully, and then you do maybe sitting in Sukhasana or maybe Vajrasana. It gives better impact when you do Vajrasana, sitting in Vajrasana. When you exhale on the air, without inhaling, you flap the stomach, which is known as Agni Sar Kriya. Agni Sar Kriya करने से जो imbalance होता है मणिपुर चक्र का या फायर एलिमेंट का, जो जिससे डाइजेशन की प्रॉब्लम होती है, वो सॉल्व होता है उससे जो है। और भी कई तरह की चीज़ें हैं जिससे हो सकती है। चक्र कई बार बंद भी होते हैं इस वजह से भी, जो दे आर नॉट एक्टिवेटेड, इस वजह से भी लोगों को प्रॉब्लम होती है उसमें भी। तो वो सभी चक्र खुले हुए होने चाहिए, हर चक्र का अलग रूल है। डॉक्टर बलजीत हैज आस्क्ड, सर लाइक यू मेंशन अबाउट स्पिरिचुअल हाईवेज, while driving we have to take care of SF, care of शायद of the
Yeah,
speeds
of the speed.
of the speed. So when we are on spiritual highway, what are the parameters that we need to take care of which can create any problem? There is one book by Master Delpe. The title of that book is The Hidden, um, it is about, the fire. Title I am not able to recollect properly, but it says that it can be dangerous. The title itself says like that when you're playing with fire, It can, like in the home, you cook food using the fire, and it can burn you also. So, similarly, these things should be practiced initially under some trainer, properly trained people, those who deal with these things. तो उसमें जैसे पास्ट लाइफ रिग्रेशन 1-to-1 होता है, आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग में उसको बोलते हैं इटर्निटी प्रोसेस. There you are not advised to do it alone. There is one person sitting with you who is helping you to go to your past lives, and then he brings you back on the current life. But if you are not trained for that and you are not in safe hands, there may be trouble with that. So it is always better to have guidance from those who are dealing with these things in a proper manner from years. As you go to a practicing experienced doctor as compared to a fresher, you feel more confident to deal with doctors, those who have experience of so many years. The age is beyond 60, 70, 80, then you prefer it more. As the age goes up, you prefer those doctors more. तो जैसे पायलट कहते हैं ना, कमर्शियल पायलट लाइसेंस तभी मिलता है जब आपने एक्स नंबर ऑफ आवर्स आपने फ्लाई किया हुआ है. तो क्यों ऐसा होता है कि उतनी फ्लाई करने के बाद जो नुएंसेस होती हैं, जो प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं, वो इनकाउंटर आदमी कर लेता है तो एक्सपीरियंस हो जाता है उसको कि कोई भी तरह की प्रॉब्लम आएगी तो आई विल बी एबल टू हैंडल दोस प्रॉब्लम. तो here also it is a different world altogether. As we say that knowledge is what we know is like a drop in the ocean. I know that I know is just like less than 1% of the knowledge base total that we have. And what we know that we don't know is also less than 5%. And the 95% is that knowledge which we don't know that we don't know. I don't know that I don't know domain. So when we are moving in the spiritual world, it is something like that only. So it is always better to take guidance and do those practices based on the recommendation of, जैसे दवाई कहते हैं ना, दवाई डॉक्टर के एडवाइस पे ही प्रेस्क्रिप्शन होनी चाहिए, वैसे ही स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में भी एक गुरु कोई हो तो वो आपके फिर आपकी नैया को पार लगा देता है. ये चक्रा मेडिटेशन वगैरह थोड़ा करना है क्या लोगों को? जरा पूछ लो लोगों से, do they want to do some meditation to manage stress? Just ask if they want meditation. Just write meditation. Let people write meditation if they want now, otherwise you'll do it at the end. How many of you want now to meditate? Do you really want to meditate now? If yes, then write meditate or meditation. If you are listening to what I'm saying, or if you want to continue the PPT, we can continue the PPT. Just let me know. Only 3-4 people have answered the question which I asked about human beings. What others have asked, have answered that question. Do you want to meditate now? Yes, now. वो asked गलती को नोटिस सारे पद्धति नाथ संप्रदाय के ये क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं. You are telling that there is no question after that. So this question also has not been answered by many. Only 3-4 people have answered this. Although there are more than 100, I think 178 people who are left. So I really don't know whether you are listening or not. Because the next question is, are you spiritual beings having a human experience? इस पे भी लिख सकते हैं अपने आंसर्स अभी. Are we spiritual beings having a human experience? This is the second question. Are we spiritual beings having a human experience? This is the next question.
सर आपका माइक
अच्छा, माइक बंद है. अब आ रही है आवाज?
फरारी से कुछ
हाँ, तो ये इस क्वेश्चन का भी, पिछले वाले क्वेश्चन का भी आंसर किसी ने नहीं दिया अभी तक. एक मछली ने दूसरी मछली से पूछा, समुद्र में थे वो, तुमने समुद्र को देखा है क्या? कि नहीं, मैंने तो नहीं देखा. फिर एक और से पूछा, और से पूछा, और से पूछा, ऐसे कईयों से पूछते गए. तो एक ने बोला, मेरी नानी माँ ने बोला था कि उन्होंने समुद्र को देखा है. तो फिर उन्होंने बड़ा उसका जो है, उसके नाम से एक मंदिर वंदिर बनाया, वहीं पे अंदर जो है उसकी पूजा पाठ करने लगे उसकी, जो है ना, भी इसने समुद्र को देखा था जी. जबकि वो सारे ही समुद्र में ही थे. तो वी ऑल आर लिविंग इन स्पेस, but we don't understand that we are living in space. Fish lives in water, doesn't realize that they are in the ocean. Similarly, we think we are human beings and we are not spiritual beings. Although we are born with all these connections, Sahasrara chakra and all those chakras, we are born with that. I was just telling you, I know that I know. I know that I don't know. I don't know that I don't know. अब इसका टाइम अभी इतना है नहीं, because time is less now. Tell me and I'll forget, show me and I'll remember, involve me and I'll understand. We do it generally when we are in the physical mode. This is applied kinesiology, which we use today also. We may not have time for that, or we have already talked a little bit about that. So this is about water. You should see, this is very important. Is water a non-living? This is the third question I am asking you. Is water a non-living thing? It is taught in the school that it is a non-living thing. You should answer that also in the chat box. This is the fourth question I am asking you. Have you ever talked to water? You have to write yes, water, something like that, so that we can understand which question you are answering. This is a small video about hidden messages in water. There is a book which is New York Times bestseller book. You can watch this video for a while.
Exhibit comes to us from Japan and Mr. Masuro Emoto. Mr. Emoto became terribly interested in the molecular structure of water and what affects it. Now, water is the most receptive of the four elements. Mr. Emoto thought perhaps it would respond to non-physical events. So he set up a series of studies, applied mental stimuli, and photographed it with a dark field microscope. This first picture is a picture of water from the Fujiwara Dam. And this picture is the same water after receiving a blessing from a Zen Buddhist monk. Now, in this next series of pictures, Mr. Emoto printed out words, taped them to bottles of distilled water, and left them out overnight. This first photograph is a picture of the pure distilled water, just the essence of itself. These subsequent photographs, as you can see, are each different. This is the chi of love. And we move along here to thank you. And you can see where he taped that to this bottle here. But if you read Japanese, you already knew that. Now, Mr. Emoto speaks of the thought or intent being the driving force in all of this. The science of how that actually affects the molecules is unknown, except to the water molecules, of course. And it's really fascinating when you keep in mind that 90% of our bodies are water.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? If thoughts can do that to water, imagine what our thoughts can do to us.
This is the New York Times bestseller book, The Hidden Messages in Water of Dr. Masaru Emoto. And these are some pictures which are part of the book. I have taken the snapshot of those pictures, like page number 12, 13, it is showing here. So this, on the left-hand side, if you see pictures, it's about wisdom written in Japanese language, wisdom written in English language, and wisdom written in German language. And the word wisdom in various languages created beautifully formed crystals. This may indicate that wisdom is a basic principle of nature throughout the world. And on the right hand side, there are some photographs taken after children at a Japanese elementary school spoke to the water. And also one photograph of water that was ignored. You are cute. So good crystals were found. And if you abuse someone, or if you say you fool, so then it created like cancer cells. The children said different things to different bottles of water. When the children said you are cute, the water cute crystals formed, but you fool had the opposite effect. So all these are pictures of water that you can see here. Here again you see heavy metal music, bad picture, you made me sick, I will kill you again. Not a good picture, is as if somebody is standing there to kill you. Adolf Hitler, again a bad kind of a picture. And simple words like thank you, love and appreciation, and people like Mother Teresa created beautiful crystals. And this photo, on the left is of an ice crystal frozen from severely polluted water. The photo on the right is the same water refrozen after having been blessed by Dr. Emoto. One can plainly see that we do have the ability to not only heal ourselves, but our earth as well. This is another author, Dr. Darren R. Wiseman, who has a book called The Power of Infinite Love and Gratitude, an evolutionary journey towards awakening your spirit. He has worked on blood cells. So left-hand side is before and right-hand side is after. A 31-year-old woman with a bladder infection has cells, blood cells like this on the left-hand side, which is not a good shape for the blood cells to have. Whereas on the right-hand side, after the power of infinite love and gratitude, release the subconscious limiting belief associated with feelings of impending doom. Left-hand side is again before, a 41-year-old woman diagnosed with breast cancer. Right-hand side Using the power of infinite love and gratitude, release subconscious feelings of depression associated with being emotionally and verbally abused by her husband. A 9-year-old boy with symptoms of severe migraine headaches, and using the power of infinite love and gratitude, release subconscious feelings of internalized anger towards his parents because of their divorce. So you may give treatment of cancer or migraine or something like that, but if you don't solve the problem why this was happening, then you keep on saying that it is getting relapsed and so on and so forth. So we need to really work on what are the new things. What are the root cause of the problem, that you need to see. So counseling with kinesiology and integrative approach to holistic development. In recent years, the field of counseling has increasingly embraced integrative and alternative methods that align with holistic paradigms of human development. One such emerging approach is counseling with kinesiology, which blends traditional counseling techniques with applied kinesiology, method that uses muscle testing to assess and correct imbalances in the body, emotions, and energy systems. This practice is gaining attention in wellness, education, emotional healing, and personal development domains due to its non-invasive, intuitive, and body-centered orientation.
Hold your hand as much as you can. ठीक है, आपको अपना हाथ रोकना है यहीं पे, ठीक है? मैं नीचे करूँगा, आपको रोकना है, ठीक है? रोकना है, हाँ, ठीक है? अब बोलिए क्या बोलना चाहते हैं? Say that time. I can do it. 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 All your hands simultaneously say I can do it. 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 Now, I am a failure. 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 And hold your hands simultaneously while you are saying. I am a failure. I am a failure. I am a failure. Hold your hands simultaneously. I am a failure. I am a failure. Come over energy, no? So the moment you say failure, your energy level goes down, because water, you have seen the video of water. The word failure gives you kind of chemical reaction in the body which decreases your energy. Right? Anything you want to test? कुछ test करना चाहते हैं? और कुछ करना चाहते हैं?
So this was like applied kinesiology. If you have any questions on this, you can ask. Generally in face-to-face mode, we give experience to the participants of this applied kinesiology, which is a muscle testing technique which was used by David Hawkins. You can note down the name of the author. Power versus Force was the name of the book. And he has a lot of videos also available. There was an institute which was created for this consciousness studies. And this, I have found that applied kinesiology is useful for even day-to-day issues, even like stress and all that. So any word that we speak, what water studies have found, our body is like 2/3 water in general and 90% in the brain side. So what we speak, what we think, if we are saying stress, then stress will happen to us. If we are saying no, we are well, then wellness will prevail within our body. So our mind governs what we say, that starts happening. Like it is said, you are the creator of your own destiny. So I don't know if you are listening also or not, because there's no video on. I don't see people responding to things. Can you please put your video on? Otherwise, It's not clear whether you are able to see what is happening or not. So these are the types of intelligences which we generally study as student of OB. I'm not going into the details of this. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
And then there is, understanding of what concrete mental intelligence means, which is like ability of an individual to comprehend actual situations and to respond to them adequately. So concrete mental intelligence can be like linear thinking, logical thinking, analytical thinking, critical thinking. Linear thinking is defined as a process of thought following known cycles or step-by-step progression where a response to a step must be elicited before another step is taken. Similarly, we have logical thinking, which uses reasoning consistently to come to a conclusion. Problems or situations that involve logical thinking call for structure, for relationships between facts, and for chains of reasoning that make sense. Analytical thinking is the process of breaking down complex information or comprehensive data into fundamental parts or basic principles. Critical thinking is the process of carefully evaluating information and determining how to interpret it in order to make a sound judgment. Abstract mental intelligence, it is the ability to think about objects, principles, and ideas that are not physically present. It is related to symbolic thinking, which uses the substitution of a symbol for an object or idea. This is like holistic thinking, creative, emotional, subjective, intuitive. So holistic thinking refers to a big picture mentality in which a person recognizes the interconnectedness of various elements that form larger systems, patterns, and objects. Thinking holistically is the opposite of analyzing something, which involves breaking down a larger system into its details. Creative thinking is the ability to look at things differently and find new ways of solving problems. Emotional thinking refers to a generalized ability to distinguish emotions and thoughts, for some strong emotions tend to interfere with balanced and realistic thought processes and can result in distorted views of situations and relationships. There is a book which is also very interesting to read, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, which lets us know how to deal with women or how to deal with men. Subjective thinking is centered on the individual and thoughts and personal preferences specific to that individual if cannot be generalized or made objective. Subjective thinking paralyzes the mind from seeing outside of one's personal view. Intuitive thinking is basically that kind of thinking that helps you understand reality in the moment without logic or analysis. There is no language involved in it either. It's entirely about science and sensations. Most of the time, it goes against whatever we might think of as rational. So, this is a chart of data, information, knowledge, insight, inspiration, intuition, and innovation. So, when your intuitive ability really gets activated, then innovation comes out from your mind. So, thinking styles could be concrete or abstract, as we have mentioned earlier. Type could be logical or creative. Input could be detailed, literal, or physical facts. And for the abstract, it could be observations or examples. Activity could be visualizing, objective reasoning. And here in abstract, it could be generalizing and hypothesizing. Output could be solutions to physical problems in concrete. And in abstract, analogies, formulas, patterns, relationships. Users are like engineers, programmers, and logical, and for abstract, it could be scientists, mathematicians, like that. This is another 5 why techniques to find out what is the root cause of a problem. Generally, we get stressed out by certain problems in life that we encounter. This is developed by Sakichi Toyoda. Japanese inventor and industrialist, that the 5 whys method is part of the Toyota production system. The techniques show that the source of the problem is quite unexpected, as what we were seeing in that there is cancer, breast cancer, and it is because of the verbal abuse of the husband. So when you go deeper, you realize what is the root cause of the problem. So this is one way of getting to the root cause of the problem. What Dr. Darren Wiseman did when he was doing the blood cell analysis. So it is like asking 5 times why the problem is late for work. So why, if you ask first time, caught speeding. If you ask second time, woke up late. Third time, if you ask why, alarm on phone did not work. Fourth time, if you ask, phone wasn't charged. And why it happened that phone wasn't charged, cat chewed the charger cable. So get a wireless charger or get rid of cat. This is the solution of this problem. So as you keep on asking again why and why, you come out from that syndrome which you give answers straight away immediately. So the basis of Toyota's scientific approach is to ask why 5 times. Whenever we find a problem, by repeating why 5 times, the nature of the problem as well as its solution becomes clear. And whenever you are in stress, if you ask why am I in stress, and you start finding the solutions of that, or the reason of why I'm in stress, you will realize there is nothing to be worried about so much or be in stress. This is another way of looking at things. This is Six Thinking Hats, a book by Edward de Bono. So generally we say head and tail. So there are 2 sides of a coin. Here we say that there's a red hat, which is about, if generally it is done by the role play, that 6 different people are wearing different hats. So red hat is for intuition, hunches, and feelings, whereas black hat is for caution, difficulties, risk, and weaknesses. So the same problem can be looked at different angles, and when people wear different hats, then they ask different kind of questions. So this is another way of looking at things, why some people behave like that. You realize that their either prakriti is different or their way of thinking is different. That is why they are asking those kind of questions. And you are getting stressed out of those questions and all that. So if you realize what kind of personality these people are, then you become more comfortable with them. There is a small video on this 6 thinking hats.
In 1985, a Maltese physician called Edward de Bono published a book called 6 Thinking Hats. The book described a powerful technique for looking at decisions from a number of important perspectives. The premise of the method is that the human brain thinks in a number of distinct ways, which can be deliberately challenged. If you look at a problem with the 6 Thinking Hats technique, then you will solve it using all approaches. Your decisions will mix ambition, skill, sensitivity, creativity, and good contingency planning. So, how do you use the tool? You can use 6 thinking hats in meetings or on your own. Each thinking hat is a different style of thinking. Let's have a look at what they each mean. When wearing the white hat, you focus on data. Study the information you have on the subject and see what you can learn from it. When you switch to the red hat, you will look at problems using intuition and emotion, sometimes called gut feeling. Try to think how people will react to your decision emotionally. The black hat has you looking at all the bad points of the decision. This is important as it highlights the weak points in your plan. Switch to positive thinking when wearing the yellow hat. This will help you focus on the benefits of the decision and the value in it. This can be really useful when everything looks gloomy and difficult. The green hat is all about creativity. Let the creative juices flow and develop creative solutions to problems. Finally, the blue hat is about process control. When wearing this hat, you decide which hat is the most suitable for the stage of decision making. For example, if ideas are running dry, you may decide to switch to the green hat. By analysing your decision wearing the 6 different hats we've talked about, you can feel confident about your decision knowing you've considered all points of view.
So it is our perception, the ability to look at things from different angles. So perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. So these were 6 examples of different types that how can people perceive differently, and that leads to either stress or calmness in the mind or the body of an individual. So people's behavior is based on their perception of what reality is, not on reality itself. The world as it is perceived is the world that is behaviorally important. So what we think about certain issues or situations, that leads us to either stressful situations or not stressful situations. It is up to us how do we perceive those things. And the elephant is held back not by the puny rope but by its belief system. Are you too? So जब वो बच्चा था, छोटा था, उसने रस्सी तोड़ने की कोशिश की, टूटी नहीं. आज वो बड़ा हो गया, ताकतवर हो गया, शक्तिशाली हो गया, फिर भी जो है वो उसको तोड़ नहीं पाता है, क्योंकि उसे लगता है, उसका बिलीफ सिस्टम ऐसा है कि मैंने जब कोशिश की थी तो मैं तोड़ नहीं पाया था इसको जो है. So are you also stuck in some of these syndromes which we have discussed? So if yes, then be bold, come forward and deal with the world. So these are some of the factors in the situation or in the perceiver or in the target that leads to perception, and that leads to whether you would be happy in life or you would be sad in life. Please stop me if there is any question. We have last few minutes now left. 13 minutes are there.
Sure.
So some people think that having internal locus of control is good, but both ways you can achieve success. So faith is an enabler which does not allow negative thoughts to pollute the mind, leading to strengthening the thought of what we want to create. So even if you have external locus of control, the faith or the bhakti yoga can give you, the outcomes. And if it is internal locus of control, the yoga or to karma yoga is actually giving you the fruits. So commitment to create with purity of heart, clarity of mind, and sincerity of action with totality of awareness and 100% attention makes a person creator of his own destiny. So both ways it can be achieved, or you can move from karma yoga to bhakti yoga to karma yoga, and have a mixture of that. What Arjun did, so he was sometimes in the bhakti yoga having faith on Lord Krishna, and when Krishna said you have to perform, so that is like internal locus of control at that point of time when he was shooting the arrows. So how to manage the mind? Your mind is a magnet. If you think of blessings, you attract blessings. If you think of problems, you attract problems. Always cultivate good thoughts and always remain positive and optimistic. You have seen the pictures of water. What happens if you say one word? So if it can happen to a bottle of water, it can happen to you also, because your body is 2/3 water. So every word of what you say or think is actually affecting you. So if you want to be happy, there are 5 ways of happiness. So our success of life does not lie in controlling the mind, it is in becoming aware of about the thoughts. So first is awareness, second is acceptance, third is aspiration. So it doesn't mean that if you accept the situations and people as they are, you will not work after that. Whatever aspiration you create after accepting all that, whatever is the current situation, the new normal that you want to create is based on the aspiration that you have. So you need to take action on that. And then you have to have appraisal system for that. And that, again, this circle continues of becoming aware of how much well you could do and what needs to be improved. So this is the 5 ways of happiness. So stress management through breath.
The formula for stress says too much to do, too little time and no energy. A little bit stress occasionally can push you to do more. But I don't see tension or stress as a main motivating factor for people to do more or to do anything creative. Usually people say necessity is mother of invention. I think that's sort of outdated. If stress could bring inventions and innovation, Lebanon, Afghanistan, these places would have been the most creative, more inventive place in the world today. It doesn't appear like that. The last 40 years, no invention has come out of Afghanistan or Lebanon or Beirut, which was under huge tension and stress. And the way to get out of it is look back in your life, all those moments when you felt this is it, this is the end of the world. You sailed through those moments. You are still alive and kicking. And practices, few minutes of practice to meditate, go inward, can make a tremendous difference.
So stress is not a new concept. It is there from ages, when it used to be there earlier, how it used to look like. There was a video, but it is not able to connect to that video. It was a very interesting video. And can we manage stress? What are the potential sources of stress? What are the consequences of stress? So there could be physiological symptoms like headache, high blood pressure, heart disease. There could be psychological symptoms, anxiety, depression, decrease in job satisfaction, and behavioral symptoms could be productivity loss, absenteeism, or turnover. And what are the potential sources? Environmental factors, organizational factors, individual factors, and individual differences. What I talked earlier about perception, that plays a very important role. How do you perceive all these things? And that is what leads to either stress or not stress. Like Shri Ravi Shankar ji also mentioned, a little amount of stress may increase your performance. That is why it is known as inverted U relationship between stress and job performance. But even this is not required. You can have better performance without having stress. So that is another dimension. So stress is the body's automatic response to any physical or mental demand placed on it. Adrenaline is a chemical naturally produced in our body as a response to stress. Fight or flight response is elicited immediately when we look at some situation which can lead to stress. So moderate level of stress may actually improve performance and efficiency. Too little stress may result in boredom. Too much stress may cause an unproductive anxiety level. Situations, activities, and relationships that cause trauma to one's physical, emotional, or psychological self. If you want to identify, then you can do that. So it could be school, work, family, relationship, legal, finances, health, illness. All these are, and these are the negative impacts, as I mentioned to you earlier. So breath and mind is the way how to handle stress. So breath is not just the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. For different levels of thought and emotion that you go through, your breath takes on different types of patterns. When you are angry, peaceful, happy, or sad, your breath goes through subtle changes. Whichever way you breathe, that is the way you think. Whichever way you think, that is the way you breathe. The breath can be used as a tool to do many things within the body and the mind. Pranayam is the science whereby consciously breathing in a particular way, the very way you think, feel, understand, experience life can be changed. Moment a child is born and it takes the first breath, the saga of mind-breath relationship begins, and all through life maintains the bond of interdependence. Peace and quality of breath going in and out of the body is dependent on the state of the sense-driven mind at any given point of time. Disturbed, ruffled mind laden with negative thoughts makes the heart beat faster, and therefore the breath is short and fast. Too much labored breath is experienced when again mind is not calm but anxious and overburdened with racing thoughts. Restlessness of the mind is a common experience for most people, and undoubtedly, as the breath follows the mind, afflictions of the body related to poor oxygen supply, Heart problems and depression, among several other illnesses, are also common. When we think positively, we feel calmer and our breath is correspondingly slow and deep. When you breathe through your left nostril, it affects the side of your right brain. And when you breathe through the right nostril, it affects the left side of the brain. When you breathe through the right nostril, the metabolism in your body is twice as much as when you breathe through the left nostrils. Practitioners of different disciplines often interpret the importance of breathing regulation and its perceived influence on mood in different ways. Buddhists may consider that it helps precipitate a sense of inner peace. Holistic healers that it encourages an overall state of health. A lot of research studies, one is by Nobel laureate Edgar and Ryan in 1942, used electrodes to record brain activity in head guards and found that brain waves in the olfactory system were closely coupled to breathing, with their size and frequency being directly related to the speed at which air moves through the nose. Considerable study of other mammalian species suggests that respiration can regulate cortical rhythms of neuronal firing in regions affecting emotion, memory, and behavior. And there are a lot of other studies which are happening in the world. And pranayam is the practice of breath control in yoga. And Bhramari pranayam, this is the example of that. Kapalbhati, you must be aware of. Bhastrika pranayam, you might be aware of. Nadi Shodhan pranayam. Sudarshan Kriya is a powerful yet simple rhythmic breathing technique that incorporates specific natural rhythms of the breath, harmonizing the body, mind, and emotion. There are hundreds of studies by doctors on the impact of Sudarshan Kriya on the human body. And there are evidences of that it reduces, it decreases cortisol levels, a stress hormone, if you practice Sudarshan Kriya. So these are scientific evidences. So this is one way of handling stress, that you do Sudarshan Kriya on a daily basis. So these are all things which are important. 8 limbs of yoga: yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. This is Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga, which you can follow to have a life free from stress. If you have all 8, and if you are able to reach to the level of samadhi, you will be in a state of joy and bliss. आनंद की अनुभूति होती रहेगी आपको. और ये पंचकोश की यात्रा आपकी अन्नमय कोश से प्राणमय, मनोमय, विज्ञानमय, आनंदमय कोश, which is the state of bliss. Anandamay kosh is a state of bliss. So you can enjoy. This is what I was talking to David Hawkins. Level of 200 and above is a positive domain. Out of the zone is less than 200 domain. You have pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, shame. So stress also happens when you have level of consciousness below 200. So it's our duty to move up from the physical realm to the mental realm to the spiritual realm. And wherever your level right now is there, you should go up in that hierarchy and move higher on this. Enlightenment level is 700 to 1000 point scale. So you have to ask question yourself, what exactly you want in life, and manage your time accordingly. So my time is also over, I think.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, attending your session itself is a meditation camp. So nothing is left now. It was really interesting, sir. Very, very nice, sir.
Dr. Anupriya has asked, sir, you mean positive affirmations are important to achieving positive? Yes. Every word that is positive energizes you, it increases your strength, it increases your energy. Can you mention the book name of Hawkins? David Hawkins, Power versus Force is the name of the book. These were the 2 questions which required answers. Okay, I am done from my side. Thank you very much for inviting me, Dr. Baljeet Kaur and all the other organizers.
Most welcome, sir.
Nice to be with you all.
Thank you so much, sir. If
Namaste.
anybody wants to ask any question, please you can ask here. So moving towards the official word of thanks. Sir, a good speech is like a pencil. It has to have a point. So, and today, Professor Ajay Kumar Singh didn't just give us a point to ponder, he gave us a perspective to live our life. So, dear all, a warm good evening to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure and a deep sense of gratitude to deliver the official word of thanks for today's enlightening session on personality development and stress management, led by our distinguished speaker of the day, Professor Ajay Kumar Singh sir. Sir, your session was not only informative but truly transformative. You beautifully highlighted how self awareness, emotional regulations, mindfulness play a vital role in shaping our personality and effectively managing stress. Your detailed explanation of the left brain ambidextrous school case study from India was especially insightful. It showed us how balanced development of analytical and creative faculty can lead to more holistic personality. Additionally, you introduced the art of living intuition process was a powerful takeaway. The way you explained this technique as a method to connect with our inner wisdom and reduce stress was inspiring, sir. Moreover, thank you, sir, for how deeply you taught us today about types of personality, Prakriti body type, spiritual intelligence, and yes, all about the chakras, 5 A's of happiness, and so on, sir. And special thanks, sir, for sharing very valuable books, case studies, and facts and figures, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Additionally, yes, on behalf of our institution, ARSD College, I extend our heartfelt thanks to you for your valuable time, profound knowledge, and the motivation you have ignited in all of us today, sir. I would also like to express our sincere gratitude to our principal, Professor Gyantosh Kumar Jha, sir, Principal Ramanujan College, for unwavering support and encouragement. A special thanks to Professor Vinita Tuli ma'am for their excellence, coordination, and efforts. And yes, thanks to Professor Anjali Gupta ma'am for all-time support. And my special thanks to our technical team also as well. So last but not the least, thank you all the participants whose enthusiasm and engagement made the event success. Let us take the lessons learned today from Sir to heart and move forward with confidence, clarity, calmness, and all our endeavors, sir. And sir, one thing personally I want to share is you are talking about all the characteristics of uh, Sattvic personality. So, sir, all the characteristics I can see personally in you, sir, calmness, peacefulness, wise, and so many things in you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing, sir.
Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you once again, sir. Have a wonderful day ahead, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
वरुण जी।
जी सर।
हाँ, सुनील सर जुड़ गए हैं?
जी सर, मैं हूँ यहाँ पे।
जी जी, नमस्कार सर, स्वागत है आपका हमारे इस मंच पर।
जी जी,
आप सभी का नमस्कार। IQAC आत्माराम सनातन धर्म कॉलेज द्वारा TLC के सहयोग से, TLC रामानुजन के सहयोग से आयोजित स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट पर इस रिफ्रेशर कोर्स में आप सभी का